Hi, I'm Elena. I'm going to be showing you our jaw-dropping and curious things episodes. Now these episodes are from 7 to 15 minutes long. A compilation of reactors broadcasting some of this realm's most shocking videos. You decide what's real and what's not. So buckle up and enjoy the ride.
They had, a camera looking at a space with people in it. That's sort of like coming in from one eye. The other eye is the radio signals, so sonar from the Wi-Fi router. And they just learned to predict, this is where the human beings are. Then they took away the camera. So all the AI had was the language of radio signals bouncing around a room. And this is what they're able to reconstruct. Real-time 3D pose estimation, right? So suddenly AI has turned every Wi-Fi router into a camera that can work in the dark, specially tuned for tracking living beings.
Why are deliveries on a ship called cargo, but in a car, it's called a shipment?
Ryan, can I not just get 1 second to eat a frickin' sandwich?
If one teacher can't teach all subjects, why is one child expected to study all subjects? Are oranges named oranges because oranges are orange? Or is orange named orange because oranges are orange?
Did you seriously just say orange 8 times in one sentence and it actually makes sense?
Bro, what happens to the car if you press the brake and the accelerator at the same time? Does it take a screenshot? Dude, the youngest picture of you is also the oldest picture of you.
You know what would be perfect for you, Ryan? A Snickers. Because, well, you know why.
If we have watermelon, shouldn't we also have fire melon, earth melon, and air melon? The Ella melons.
Really? He's the favorite?
Dude, why are deliveries
were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him.
Why?
Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. At every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the U.S. and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous, and it's wrong. Just like Libya.
People used to pay per minute they used to talk on the phone. Is that true?
I remember the days of paying for your minutes. You didn't just use your phone all willy-nilly. No, sir. We paid for our minutes, each and every one of them. $30 got you 300 minutes if you were lucky. That's only 10 a day. You learned real quick what to say, what was important and what could wait. No chit-chat, no small talk. You called, said what you had to say, and got off before it was too late, before it would cost you. And it would cost you dearly. But then came a miracle, and they called it unlimited nights and weekends. And boy, let me tell you what, when that clock hit 9 p.m. on a weekday, or even better yet on a Friday, oh, that's when the real conversation started. Folks planned their whole lives around it. You'd hear, I'll catch you after 9. I'll call you after 9. More than you heard, I love you. All business new and old happened after 9. We'd sit there in the dark, whispering on flip phones, making plans, catching up, falling in love. Weekends, that was a social hour, but weekdays before 9, silence. Phones stayed in our pockets like it owed us money. It was a different world, one where talk was precious and time was expensive. Makes you appreciate things, you know. Now folks talk all day, streaming, scrolling, don't even realize what a gift it is. But we remember. We remember the lonely days and when they turned into unlimited nights.
The Asian community is like friends. Do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black blood? I always tell people the day Day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. But the problem is our communities are divided. For Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. What I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand?
Is debt. School makes you stupid. Half of what we call medicine is drugs, and half of what we call drugs is medicine. Religion makes you ignorant of true spirituality. Possession is an idea. Power is a concept, and we are all God. Money is debt.
Welcome to LRC Realm Vlogs. Here we have the jaw-dropping and curious things episodes. The Reactors Compilations. Some of these things are mind-blowing. You come up with your own conclusion. So let's get into it.
Wow, this information is really jaw-dropping. What do you all think? What are your opinions on this? Leave a comment and give your thoughts. Let's keep going.
White folks use drugs and sell drugs at the same or higher rate than black folks and Latinos, and yet it is black folks and Latinos who in any given year make up 85 to 90% of the people who get arrested and incarcerated for a drug offense. See, people of color know that. And if we don't understand when black folks rise up and say Black Lives Matter. Well, what do you mean, black? All lives matter. Yes, sweetheart, I know they do. Yes, they do. And that is a totally irrelevant and unnecessary point to make. You see, you don't have to say all lives matter. We take that for granted. What we've never accepted in this country is that black and brown life matter. You have to proclaim that which is ignored, you see. That's why we have Black History Month right now and not White History Month. We don't have to have the White History Month because we got May and June and July and August. And every other month where we learn about white folks, we don't have to call it that. See how slick that is? That's how white supremacy operates. You don't have to call it White History Month. You just call it history, and literature, and theater, and poetry, and art. You don't have to racialize where it came from. That black
zoned as a cemetery, and you no longer owe property taxes, as well as you're no longer part of any HOA or any government anything. Your house is a write-off. It's tax-free on any upgrades to your house, and they can never take your house after that. Generational wealth. It doesn't matter if you default on your mortgage or anything like that. They can never take your house from you, ever. They can't take it from your kids. They can never take it. So think about this. Back in the day when you watch things like Wyatt Earp and the movies, they go out back and they bury, their loved ones in their backyard. When did cemeteries become a thing, right? Probably around the first war when we needed money and we instilled war taxes, property taxes, all the bullshit, right? So cemeteries became a thing. Why? Oh, because they needed property tax. And they wanted you to pay a lot for funerals. When people used to just do cardboard and, bury people 6 feet under and put them close to their house. But now they have you pay for a plot of land, pay for a tombstone, pay for a casket, put you in debt basically for a funeral to put your loved one on a property that's not yours. Because if you put them in your backyard, then you no longer owe property taxes and your house is no longer owned by the government. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm just putting it out there, just letting you know.
There's only 2 things in life that you worry about. Whether you're healthy or whether you're sick. If you're healthy, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're sick, you got 2 things to worry about. Whether you're going to get better, whether you're going to get worse. You get better, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you get worse, you got 2 things to worry about. Whether you're going to live, whether you're going to die. If you live, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you die, you got 2 things. Whether you're going to heaven, whether you're going to hell. If you go to heaven, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you go to hell, you got two things to worry about. Original or extra crispy? That's what
When you look at the dollar bill, you see more than just paper. Look closer. Why is there an Egyptian pyramid on American currency? Why Latin phrases? Most people never question it. They're too busy chasing dollars to actually look at one. At the top of the bill, it says Annuit Coeptus. That means our enterprise is successful. But whose enterprise? At the bottom, Novus Ordo Seclorum, the New World Order. They put it right in front of you, plain as day. This isn't decoration, it's a declaration. Look at the pyramid. 13 layers. Why 13? It's not just about the original colonies. Look closer. 13 stars, 13 stripes, 13 arrows, 13 leaves. This number keeps showing up. Is that just a coincidence? Or is it a hidden code? A symbol of power and control woven into the very fabric of our system? And here's the kicker. See the American shield? That's the true flag. But the US flag? That's a different story. The stripes run horizontal because the United States isn't a country. It's a corporation, a privately owned entity operating under a different set of rules. The symbols, the numbers, the words, it all points to one thing. A system of power hidden in plain sight. The real rulers of the world don't need to hide. They just need to keep you distracted.
Free Game Friday. Did you know that Apple recently settled a $95 million lawsuit because Siri was listening to your private conversations and she sold it to a third party? If you have any Apple device, this settlement will go for each device. If you had a device between September of 2014 and December of 2024. So just like any other lawsuit, Apple has not admitted any fault. They just agreed to pay us $95 million. So the deadline for you to submit your settlement is July 2nd of 2025. I have the link in my bio. Free Game Friday. Let's get it.
People will never figure this out, and that's why they fail.
Every word that comes out of your mouth has 100 to 1,000 times more power than a thought. Because when you speak, the word vibrates into the universe. See, when you think, you're sending out a vibration only through your mind. But when you speak, you have to have the thought as well. So when you speak, not only are you having a thought come from your mind, but the vibration is coming out of your mouth into the physical universe. It's vibrating molecules. It has creative force. You speak things without thinking. So think about what you say. I'm so dumb. Boom. You just spoke that into existence. Things don't work out for me. You just spoke that into existence. I miss all the opportunities. You just spoke that into existence. Think about what you say. You don't even listen to your words. Let me tell you what rich people do. They speak into existence what they want. When you speak things, it is dramatically different than if you just think it. Watch your words.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next jaw-dropping and curious things episode. Have a wonderful day. Peace and love.